Baby, no, don't mess with me, baby. I'm helping a lot of people, okay? Um, thank you. Sorry. So sorry. And so what the first thing that we're looking for on this kill shot is for the first six to be all blue or all red, right? So we want them to be the same color. So since in this case we have all blue, we come over to the trend wave, right? We make sure that we're in the same one. So we're in US 30, right? We are looking for it to now be at entry and for a buy. And I do trade the 30-minute, 50-minute, 5-minute. So what I'm looking for is for a buy, right? Now, usually what I'm looking for as well, so since this one is a buy and it's near entry, however, the third thing that we're looking for is for this RSI to be at the bottom half. Now, I am starting to change my strategy just a little bit. I've been hopping on some of the UK ones. Drop it too if you've been dropping at the 5 a.m. ones, or I don't know what it is for you guys. For me, it's 5 a.m. Those are actually really helpful, and the way that they use trend wave and kill shot is also a little different, right? So I've been definitely starting to implement that a little bit. So I'm not as strong on the RSI anymore as I used to be, just because Killshot has its own confirmation. However, I'm not teaching it just yet, just to be able to help you guys, obviously. Right. But once again, the way that my strategy works and the way that it still currently is, right? So we're wanting to be all the same. So in this case, it's all blue. We're wanting the entry, I think it was 15-minute, right? We want it to be at entry, was 15 to 30 minutes. So it's actually really good that it's both the same, right? Which it is right here. And we want the RSI to be in the corresponding side. So if we're going up, we're wanting it to be the RSI right here to be in the bottom half. And the way that you see this RSI, the reason we want it to be at the bottom half is because if you're in a room, right, you're in an enclosed box or something, and you throw a bouncy ball at the floor, you're expecting it to go back up, right? And if you throw the bouncy ball up against the ceiling, you're expecting it to come back down. And that is why, since we're wanting to go up, right? We're wanting the market to go up. Since of this buy, we want the RSI to be at the bottom because again, if you throw that ball down against the floor, it'll come up. And since we're wanting to go up, we obviously want that bouncy ball to go up, right? Go and drop a 3 if you're new and that makes sense to you, and go and drop a 4 if you're new and you're like, what did she just talk about? Okay. And we have to be careful with this as well. And the way that the RSI is actually helping us with this, you see this yellow line right here. So this yellow line, this yellow band right here, basically it means it has a hard time going past. And since the RSI is about to be in the top and we have this FVG here, this is for my more advanced people, right? We can expect it to fill down. So that's why the RSI most likely is in the top. It's going to come down, right? And I'm going to draw it for you guys. So once the RSI hits up here, okay, then don't eat. If you're full, then don't eat. Right? We're expecting it to come back down, so then the RSI is going to come down. We're going to expect it to fill. We can expect it to come back up. Now, whether or not it actually breaks above, that's obviously a decision of its own, right? And then it's going to come back up. So basically, this right here could be this right here. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Go get ready for school, Mikey. Go brush your teeth, all that. You know what to do.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
I'm just deleting this guys for you guys real quick. But anyway, so in this particular case, even though we have it all blue, we have it at entry, we're not taking it. We're not looking at it just yet because one, the RSI is not corresponding, right? The RSI is in the top half. And then also, um, we have this yellow band here saying, hey, has a hard time going above. You can also look at the 15 as well. It also has, and it actually called a sell right here as well. That symbol here means strong motion down. And we also have a resistance here as well. And we do have the FAG here as well, obviously. And the R size at the top, so we can expect it to come down. Now, let me look at the 5-minute though. 5 minutes already over with. All right, moving on to NAS 100. Coming back over to kill shot. So it's all blue. So we're expecting it to go up. We're wanting it to go up. This is pretty strong here. 30-minute. Oh, I'm loving this. So this one is a little bit different, right? We still have this yellow band like I was talking about, but the thing is that the market closed above it, right? You can see, right? Let me get my pen out. You can see it went above it. It came back down and now it's going back up. And if you've been on my normal trading calls, I guess if you will, that's not that's not Trendwave specific. You know that I love the N shape here. Oh, I got you a new toothpaste, baby. I dropped your toothbrush. So there's a new toothbrush in there, okay? Go give me the package. I'll get it for you. Sorry guys, my son, obviously, like I was saying, my son's back in school, so I do have to give him more attention now in the morning. But anyway, you know that I love the end. So it's a break, right? Breaking above this resistance and retest. It should be above in the little cabinet. The break, right? And retest, so it comes down and then it goes back up, right? But it's a little N shape, right? If I put it back over, you guys can see it, right? So that's why this is a little different. Even though we still have that yellow band, we do have the break and retest. So this is actually a pretty strong indication here. The only thing that we need is for the fill to be right here. So we need this to fill, which it might not actually. It might not fill all the way down. Now the RSI is not lining up. Let's see what 5 minutes says. The five, ooh, man. So I'm not looking at this obvious. Yes, baby. Just go ahead and pick one. Pick a color and then go brush your teeth with that new one. So sorry guys. The RSI is not correlating. So the RSI is saying that it's gonna go up, right? It did already break, it did already retest. And obviously I'm not looking at this because this is obviously already over with. I'm looking more so at the overall like the chart itself, I guess, if you will, right? Now we do have that fair value gap still, but it might, like I said, it might not fill because we're kind of, oops, today they accidentally zoomed in. That was awkward. It might not fill. It might just keep going up. But then again, so the 15-minute and the 30-minute, the RSI are pretty high up. However, it doesn't always have to go down. Ooh, this might be, I'm just not liking the RSI. So okay, and I'd also want to explain that just because the RSI is at the top, right? So even if it does go all the way down to here, right? That does not mean that the market has to drop all the way down here. Right? It could drop only to right here and then go up and be all the way at the bottom, right? So the RSI is not an indication of how far the market's gonna drop, right? And that's what I'm currently looking at, right? Is that it doesn't have to drop really far. So I might call this. Ugh, we can expect it to go down though a little bit. Okay, let me go to kill shot real quick, guys. Uno momento. I need to figure out. Someone said that there's a way that whenever you open kill shot, it doesn't do this. I don't know how to do it. I have yet to figure it out. Okay. Okay. Did the 1 hour just call a diamond? Yes, it did. It called it last in the last hour. All right. Okay. We're just gonna be safe here. We're gonna call it at the 15-minute to be safe. So I'm not calling it at 30-minute. I am calling it right here at the 15-minute. But I'm calling it as a stop. Where is my phone? I cannot see my phone. So I'm gonna call this as a buy stop because I do honestly expect it to go down a little bit more. So if you don't want to go into the negative, I wouldn't take it as a market execution. However, I am seeing this going up pretty far, honestly. And we do have that rejection candle as well. We do have the BART. We can expect it to come down to here. But I don't think that it's actually gonna come down this far. I'll be completely honest, but it can. It definitely can. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this. I'm gonna go ahead and take that photo. If you want, you can wait, right, for it to come, for the RSI to come all the way down here and then take it down here if it goes that far. That's the thing, you know? Let's make sure. Oh, the 1 hour just changed. Ooh, let's see what the 1 hour does here. I'm still calling it as a buy stop. Bottom right underneath the numbers, the hexagon scale to price chart only. See, I was trying that. This right here. Okay. I think I clicked that so many times, but it just never wanted to work for me. But who knows? Okay, here it goes. Here comes the shot down, right? It's touching the EMA, and EMA is another one of the things that I look for, right? It just filled the fair value gap. Let's do a 30-minute. Yep. And this is why I wanted to go in for a stop and not a market execution right here. This is the exact reason, right? Let's see the 5-minute. Still at the bottom. It could go down a little for it could come down all the way to down here. So it could come back to entry of the 5-minute. I'm still comfortable with that. Yeah, I'm still calling this as a buy stop. Yep, we are still good. All right, so anyone that is new, I'm assuming my veteran attendees understand what it is I saw and why I decided to take this trade. Obviously the RSI being off, that's fine. The reason I made it a stop instead of a market execution is because the RSI is off, and only because the RSI is off. Other than that, anyone that's new, do you understand why I decided to take this trade? Does anyone have any questions? Yes, 100. Buy stop. 15-minute. And I've been also, so the reason I've been gone for so long, for a whole week, oh my goodness, so long. Anyway, the reason I've been gone is because I've been testing out different scanners. So I've been testing out Golden Era, Smartmonics. I'm gonna be also on whatchamacallit, Quantum as well. So I'm checking out all these different scanners. So I've been able to look at the market in different ways now instead of just only focusing on trend wave and kill shot. I'm also learning kill shot on its own as well, like having more in depth with kill shot. So I that's the reason that I'm seeing the trend wave and I'm seeing the scanners a little differently because I know a little bit more about the scanners now, right? So obviously I've been focusing mostly on these two, but I've been going even more in depth. So before my strategy was very much focused on trend wave and using kill shot as a confirmation, whereas now I'm starting to learn kill shot as a confirmation on its own, like its own thing, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm seeing things a little bit differently. I'm starting to be able to cross-reference a little better. I'm also going to learn Sniper Pro as well. So that's another one. So you guys can definitely expect more coming in for sure. Yes, you're supposed to go in for a buy stop because it could potentially come all the way down to invalidation and then shoot up. So that's why I called it as a buy stop, not a market execution. Testing quantum as well. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, coming back to the purpose of this call, does anyone have any questions why I decided to take this trade? What it is we're looking for, because I do know that we have a few new people, and I want to make sure that you understand the confirmation of the current strategy. We did veer off just a little bit from the strategy, and the strategy, obviously, for my veteran attendees is the RSI not lining up here, right? Because we are expecting it to go down, but I am expecting the overall market to go up, honestly, right? Is NAS 100? No, it's US 100. If you're using a US broker, it should be US 100. Will you be doing different scanner calls eventually? Yes. I am because I've kind of found that trend wave, at least for me, for the way that strategy currently is, isn't quite good for market open. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but since I started doing market open, we haven't been able to find that many trades, right? Whereas at when I had my 10 o'clock ones, right, my 10 a.m. ones, we did find trades pretty much every call, right? So I wanted to make sure that we were using a scanner that was beginner friendly that you guys can learn from while on my calls and still be able to take trades during market open. So that is the reason I've been looking at different whatchamacallits, different scanners so we can start seeing trades on my days, on my calls, because obviously Skylar and Matthew, they always have they always have something going on in the mornings, right? And I want to step it up, I want to be on their level. I want to, we'll make out that ka-ching, you know what I'm saying? Sniper Pro will be really good for that. Yeah, exactly. I've been hearing that a lot. So Sniper Pro is definitely one of my main focuses for now. But obviously, I'm not going to try and teach you guys something that I've only been using for 5 minutes. So I'm going to be needing another week or two, depending on how easily I understand it and how simple it is for me to explain it to you guys. So you will be seeing that though soon. But just to keep you guys updated what's going on in my life. But yes, we're still here with that buy stop. I sent it in the group chat as well. And just one more time to go over it. So the reason we went for it is because Killshot was all blue, right? We want those first six to be the same color, but we had all of them blue, so that was one, right? And the reason all of them were blue, or the reason we had this Fair Value gap is also because of the news as well. So it just retraced the news. It came back to get all of the money that's stuck here, that, Fair Value gap, liquidation, imbalance, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same, but not the same, right? It went ahead and touched it, right? We have this resistance here that it broke, right? It broke it, came down to retest it, and it went up again, but it did have to fill that fair value gap. So we have that test, the break and retest, that BART that I like, right? And then also the 30-minute and the 15-minute, they all agreed that it's going to go up, and I'm sure the 1 hour would as well. Yep, the 1 hour is also agreeing. So we have multiple, not confirmations per se, but multiple things, multiple time frames calling for a buy as well. So we have just all those different confirmations, congruences, whatever you want to say. Are you testing on demo or live? I'm testing on demo. I always test, like, there's no reason to be testing things on a live. That's kind of, I'm sorry if you're that type of person, but that's dumb to start testing things if you don't know how to properly do it on a live account. Just saying. Did you check gold? I did not check gold, no. Once I find a trade, I like just kind of sitting on it, especially since I only have 30 minutes. Kill shot already, no. So I'm not even gonna look at it. But the thing is, it's only the first two, so you can keep an eye on it, right? You can see to whether or not these two will turn red, because when it's just the first two, the 1 minute and 5 minute, that are not the same color as the rest, it could just be a retracement. So if you know how to use a strategy, you know how to trade with this strategy, this right here just means keep an eye on it. And look, the 50-minute just turned as well, so probably not. Yeah, and we have, look at that, it's ugly. All those yellow bands there. Ugly. Don't like it. Don't like it. Have you ever traded German? Yes, I have. Once again, you can look at it, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good trade to take. Oh man, if this were red as well, and if we were a little closer to entry, obviously we're a little far from entry now. This is also beautiful Bart. So if you caught this earlier, this would have been a beautiful Bart right here. Once again, you can see the resist or support in this case, the break right here, came back up, retest, boom. Break and retest right there. Beautiful, beautiful. But we missed it. But since that 15-minute is, oh, never mind. I eat my words once again. But yeah, anyway, this would have been a beautiful trade to take. You can see that beautiful bar. You can also see the RSI was in the top half here. Was above here though. So right about here is where you could have entered right here. And then also we have that extra confirmation of that sell right here. But this right here, beautiful Bart. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. But alas, we missed it. Let's go 15-minute, 5-minute. Nope. Anyway, so we do have that NAS 100 buy stop. Is it 15-minute, right? Yep. And glad we took it as a buy stop because you'd be really close to invalidation now. right? And like I said, it could hit invalidation, come to our side there, and then go up. It could definitely do that. Um, but yeah, I'll let you guys know. And that's why we go for the last stop. Anyway, like I said, sadly, now that my son is back in school, I do have to end my calls earlier. I hope that you guys learned something from this. This is something that you can do on your own, right? Don't forget that my calls are just a way to help you guys understand how you should be using the scanners. You shouldn't just rely on my calls, on Skylar's calls, on Lauren's calls, like on Matthew's, like you should not be relying on just those calls, right? You should be starting to implement what you learn on our calls to do for yourself, right? So I went over what it is I look for. Now you should do your own due diligence, hop on a scanner, be like, okay, she said she looked for this, this, and this, and start implementing and start trading on your demo and start figuring out on your own as well. I do apologize once again that I do have to end my calls earlier now. I know I used to sit here for an hour with you guys, but duty as a parent does call. He does have to go to school. He does have to get ready and so on. So I love you guys. I hope you guys learned something. Don't forget to hop on the calls or sorry, hop on the scanners on your own to start learning. And then don't forget that we have another trading call tonight at 9 p.m. EST. Once again, you learn on these calls and this if you're really, really wanting to learn a skill that can set you up for life, hop on these calls. Don't make excuses, guys. If you're at work, put in an earbud. I don't care. I shoot. I get fired from my job. You know, I would do that because this is something that can definitely change your life. But I hope that you guys learned something. And then also basics training call at 3 p.m. EST as well. That's right. That's right. All right. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. That will be it for me this week. Once again, I am learning the other scanners, so you'll most likely see Matthew on Thursday. But I love you guys. You guys have, most success. I hope you guys are learning. I hope you guys are taking notes, and I'll see you guys probably next week. Bye.